What's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. Match preview time. KG is back. Another video, another day, another video. Listen, it never starts with Leeds United, and we're here to talk about a huge game tomorrow night. Not under the ideal circumstances, but either way, it was still going to be a huge, tough game tomorrow, and we're going to get into it shortly against Manchester United at Old Trafford. Obviously, hit the like as you come in, or if you watch a replay, hit the like, subscribe, and leave your comments below and your score predictions. But we're not doing that in the live chat just yet. Just hold off a little bit. Jim saying what's happening, what's going on. Congratulations on your milestone. Thank you. Danny here saying, I love Scoops on that presser, short, sweet answers. And yeah, listen, people, there's not much to take from the press conference today. There really isn't. It was very, very short. We're going to have Armas, Gallardo, and Skubala here for the game tomorrow. They're going to be taking charge. He confirms that he doesn't know if they're going to be in charge for Sunday's game, but they're taking it one game at a time, obviously. But yeah, there really wasn't a lot to take from the press conference today. There really wasn't. Yeah. And just saying as well, in terms of Jesse Marsch, that he left on professional terms, said his goodbyes and everything else like that. It was disappointing for him, but you can't expect any different, and that's fair. He didn't give any injury news, which was quite refreshing. I rate it. I rate that he didn't say too much. It's been a while since we've had that really altogether, isn't it? But yeah, there really wasn't a lot. There's a few bumps and bruises, but he didn't reveal anything about tomorrow's squad. Yeah, Callum, there was no messing around. Yeah, he was trained, and the thing was, some of the presser, the journalists were trying to get him with a couple of hardball questions, but he wasn't falling for any of it. You just left it short, sweet, and said, nah, that's enough. I'm not going to give you anything else. It's private. We'll see about that tomorrow after training. Yeah, listen, Darren here is saying might as well not do the press conference. But it's a requirement that they do one. But what I will say, Darren, is have we been giving away too much information with the last couple of coaches we've had? Maybe so, because then, we always know who's going to be out, who's going to be available, and then so does the opposition. It doesn't leave any guessing game. But, I hear what you're saying. Simon Flynn here saying, I wonder if Marsch said a farewell to Bamford. Well, listen, he was asked about that. Let me just get my note on here. Yeah. Skubala did say, I think Patrick was just being honest about how he was playing the game and that it came from the heart. But I would say as well about Patrick that he needs to also look at his own performance, because it's all well and good saying that he felt isolated and everything else like that. But the couple times where he was given opportunities, like the one where Nanto cuts it back and he completely miskicks it, or the one where Sinisterra puts him in and he has a first touch with, like, he's got cement boots on, he needs to take accountability for his actions as well and his performances. So it kind of goes both ways. And listen, there's no excuse now that Jesse's gone. We're going to see if any of these players that were here before Jesse step up again, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Chris Armas, by the way, he'll be going back to Old Trafford. He was there last year with Ralph Ragnick. Chris Armas, to me, I had to use his picture because he reminds me of Kurt Angle, man. Every time I see the guy, I hear Kurt Angle's theme tune just going around in my head. Yeah, I just hear it when I see Chris Armas. So we got Kurt Angle as one of the three in the dugout tomorrow. But listen, people, tomorrow's game was going to be tough regardless. It was going to be tough regardless. Gosh. I'm going to give my score prediction later, as the people in the chat hopefully will, and obviously in the comments after. But you just hope, don't you, that we can have that kind of effect where we get rid of a manager and then we have that new bounce. Listen, we tried it last year, didn't we? We got rid of a manager in the first two games we lost. We never do the things the right way. We never do things the more stereotypical way or the normal way. We do things the Leeds United way. So, much like Everton got a result against Arsenal, I don't know. I just don't see it against Man United away. Maybe if it was the home game, I'd have a little bit more optimism. But yeah, we'll talk about that later in the week. Yeah, he looks like Kurt Angle, man. Looks like him. Yeah, actually, yeah, that's another one, Raj. He kind of looks like Dana White too. Yeah. I think it's because he's got like a thick neck. Why I think of Kurt Angle. That's why. He did say that don't expect to see too many tactical changes. There will be tweaks here and there, but obviously they've only been in charge for what 2 days at best. So it will be a case of just looking at things a little bit differently. Maybe they spread the play a bit more, things like that, tactical changes that way. But I wouldn't expect anything too different in tomorrow's game. Yeah, I know, Darren. We can have a no manager bounce. That's what we do. That's what we do. Andy Shaw here saying, I'd like to see wingers hugging the touchline for this one, give the wingers a chance to do something. I'd like to see Somerville play too. Yeah, I mean, listen, personally for me, I'm assuming that maybe it will be Weghorst up front tomorrow. So again, much like Cooper did well with Chris Wood, I wouldn't mind seeing Liam Cooper play if he is to start. I wouldn't mind it in this game just purely for the Weghorst factor and that he can, hustle and bustle with him for 90 minutes. I think that would be a pretty decent matchup. But if they're going to play Martial or someone like that, then yeah, no Liam Cooper for me. I think Martial's movement will probably take him out of the game. You just have to match up well. I think our midfield. I'm hoping that we see that midfield three of Rucker, McKennie, Adams. I'm hoping for that. Verber and Koch, I'm hoping that they come back together and restart that partnership that looked promising. Small sample size, I know, but it's something that we can build off. Right back, Christensen has to be Christensen for me, just purely for the defensive work that he can do. And for left back, yeah. Listen, for me, I'd probably take Keen Jelly. He is asking me here. I would probably put Firpo in at left back. I know that sounds like a nightmare away at Old Trafford, but I just feel like Struijk, and you guys know I love Struijk, but I just feel like he needs to. I just feel like he needs to take a couple games out. I do, and maybe just having a natural left back will give us an attack. What I would like to see us. Martial is injured, is he? So yeah, it will be Weghorst up front. So yeah, fair enough. What I would like to see us do is just be stable. Like, make it hard for Man United to break us down. No points. I want us to go out and engage in like a 3-on-1 press. I want them to try and break us down because we have the pace and talent up front and the movement up front to cause problems and hit them on the counter. That is a possibility. There'll be no Casemiro tomorrow, but as we know, Fred and McTominay always seem to play like prime Xavi and Iniesta against us. So there'll be all kinds of different threats here. Let's have a look. Nige D just saying here, I don't get Bamford's comments on being isolated. Use your experience and go and find some room. His miskick fluff was unmarked in the box. So I'm just going to convert that. Nige was unmarked in the box, and it was. That's what I mean. The lack of accountability for some players sometimes it irks me. Trying to blame it on the lack of room when if you just make your first touch a bit better, you could have been in on goal. I don't know if you would have got there with your pace, but you would have been in on goal. You would have given yourself a better chance. But it is what it is. He needs to improve for me because I've already said I feel like he's a bench option coming off when the opposition is tired and he can come on and stretch it at like 70 minutes. I would start with the more fluid three of, whether you want it Nanto, Somerville, Jorginho, or take out Sinistera and put in Somerville, take out Somerville, put in Sinistera. I would do that three just purely for the movement and everything else that it can cause. And there is finishing ability in all three. That would just be mine. That would just be my my way of thinking up front. Let's have a look. Is he out as well? McTominay, is he gone as well? Well, fair enough. So it will be Fred and Eriksen's out. Yeah, but they got Sabitzer in it. They got Sabitzer in on loan. So, they've got options. And listen, Man United, by the way, let's speak on Man United. They are 13 unbeaten at Old Trafford. Records are there to be broken, as we all know. But it's Erik ten Hag. And I want to talk about Erik ten Hag just on a pure coach basis. Because obviously we are in the process of looking for a new coach. But what Ten Hag has done for me is how I want the next coach to come in and act. I want him to come in with the cojones that Erik ten Hag come in at Man United and just ring the changes. Listen, Erik ten Hag has discarded reputation in like Cristiano Ronaldo. He's disregarded any kind of seniority, captaincy, or what the press would deem favorites in like Maguire, Harry Maguire. He has gone in there and has made it his own team. And that is what I want the next manager to come in at Leeds United and do. Go on your own sword. And I don't feel Jesse did that. I don't feel he went out on his own sword in the end. I think he was placating to too many of the players. I need the next manager to be as ruthless as Ten Hag. And listen, he's reaping the rewards. He's reaping the rewards. He could have risked all kinds of media scrutiny over here, and you know what the media is like over here. If it doesn't work out with Maguire being dropped, Ronaldo going, but he's benefiting it now. Man United look like a team that's formidable again. It's horrible to say, isn't it? But it's true. They look like the Man United that is going to be tough to beat. Marcus Rashford is in the form of his life, and I've got to be honest, people. I can see him doing this tomorrow. I can see it. I'm afraid I can see Rashford doing his new celebration tomorrow. So yeah, it's gonna be a real tough one. But that's what I want from the next coach. Listen, we're hearing all kinds of names being linked. I mean, bookies' favorites it's not anything to go by the way, because they had Bielsa on top, and that's just not happening. Uh, Irola, is that his name? Yeah, Vallecano's Irola. He sidestepped the question yesterday after they won their game, and hopefully people don't read anything into that. You would hope that your current manager is not coming out saying, you know what, I do want the Leeds United job. That doesn't look good up for anybody. So yeah, he sidestepped the question, but there's no real concrete names out there that we've been linked to. It's all just speculation. Yeah, Acton Dave saying exactly. He only played Harrison because of the Leicester Stargate. It's true. There was no basis on Jack Harrison starting the game, and this is what has been worrying me in terms of tomorrow's selection. Because if we're seeing Harrison and Bamford and Ayling start, then we're already on a hiding to nothing, in my opinion. Because they weren't, for me, they already made me shiver against Nottingham Forest, against informed Manchester United. It's just, you might as well just give up. And you know me, people, there's no such thing as a free hit. And I don't believe in that, because there'll be other teams around us that will go to Old Trafford or play them at home, and we'll pick up a point, maybe even beat them at some point. So we have to go into every game and try and get something. And there's ways of doing it. We've got the setup to do it. We can be defensively solid and hit them on the break. Let's do that. Mike is saying he thinks Harrison is far better on the right. I completely disagree. I mean, you obviously it's opinions, but he hasn't done anything on the right to suggest that he should play out there, and that's why it's good that we've got Somerville back. Jack Harrison rarely ever just cuts in and whips one in top corner or with a cross or anything else like that. I think he has to come back in on his left foot, take about 5 touches before he decides what to do. I think if he's going to play anywhere, it's going to be natural left. But I just wouldn't start him ahead of Sinistera or Nanto. He's not even close to them two in terms of ability for me. That's why he's a good bench player. He's a good option off the bench. Deshaun, listen, Deshaun, Bamford, your guy. I remember. But listen, Deshaun's asking, do you think there's any chance of getting Poch? You know what, man? It's such a long shot. I don't see it happening. I do think Poch is more of a Champions League coach. But then I look at some people. I remember some people last night saying they would have loved Dyche to come in. That's not for me. But Lopetegui at Wolves. Imagine if he was available and we got him. I mean, I'd be so confident with him as a coach. And they attracted him when they were bottom of the league. So you never say never, but it's an extremely long shot. I wouldn't get your hopes up for Pochettino, but if it does happen, then that would be one hell of a coup, wouldn't it? There's no new news as I record this at 1:15 Greenwich Mean Time. There is no new news on a new manager. It's Geronimo saying Harrison takes 10 too many touches every time he kills the flow of the game. Well, yeah, there's some people that were saying that Jesse Marsch was stifling his game playing him through the middle. Although I'd argue that when he's come off the bench or started against Cardiff and Accrington, he's actually played well through the middle. But for me, it was the same under Bielsa. He was as inconsistent under Bielsa as well. And that's why, I would have taken the money for him. As long as we got somebody in to replace him, I would have taken the money. Because for me, selling him to Leicester isn't strengthening a rival. Selling Tyler Adams to Leicester is strengthening a rival, not Jack Harrison, but it is what it is. Ninja Dan saying some sources are saying that Leeds are only looking for managers in jobs. Listen, you know what it is, Ninja Dan. I think it's just that we're not ruling out like trying to take someone else's manager. Big Andrew at Celtic has obviously been heavily linked as well. I think it's good though that we're doing that. There shouldn't be any limit to what we do to get the right man for the job, and whether they're employed or unemployed, we need to go out and if there's compensation to pay, pay it. Get the right man. You've seen the mini league that we're in. It's too risky to take any chances now. We've got to make the right choice, and if that's somebody in a job that they feel will fit this current team, I'm all for it. I'm absolutely all for it. But there are some good unemployed coaches out there too. It's going to be interesting, isn't it? It's going to be interesting the next couple of days. Uh, Scott Lightning here saying, how can you go into any game worrying if you have a midfield of Adams, McKennie, Rucker, and Nanto, Sini, and Rutter as your attack? Let other teams worry about us. Fair enough. Fair enough, Scott. I think it's just, when you look at it objectively and you look at the way Manchester United have been playing, they've got a lot of players in form. You look at Martinez at the back, he's been absolutely immense for them, by the way. Varane at the back. So where they've got a killer attack in Rashford doing his thing, they've also got a good defense, and that's something that we can't really rely on at this point. Even Wan-Bissaka as well has been playing very, very well defensively. I've always liked Wan-Bissaka. I know he's not the best going forward, but defensively, try getting past him. It's a tough job. It's a real tough job to get past Wan-Bissaka. So they've got a lot of strengths. But like Scott says, we do have our strengths. We've just got to play to them, and I hope that's what we do. Uh, oh man, no, Gavin. Hecking put him in the job. Nah, listen. You know what, Gavin? You know what's funny about that? I was listening to a bit of a talk sport this morning. Oh man, some of the suggestions. Oh Lord, somebody said Roy Hodgson. Now, some of you want me to do a watch along again. Now, if Roy Hodgson becomes the manager of Leeds, you might see the first person to fall asleep on the stream. No lie, no lie. It would be brutal for me. I don't want to see Roy Hodgson's got no business being back in the Premier League. Not no chance. He was one of those guys that made the Premier League kind of boring for a few years. There was a period where teams at the bottom were just setting up with like four defensive midfielders and trying not to get beat. He was part of that problem. As soon as he leaves, Palace start to be more free flowing. They get to a cup final. They look better on the eye as well. Yeah, nah, not for me, man. Not for me. Resident Alien saying Marcelo Gallardo is a standout option for us, in my opinion. I do. I think he would be my choice. I don't know. I think he's on a bit of a sabbatical right now. I think he's taking a break. But if you can convince him to come, I absolutely would take him. I think he's a brilliant coach. I think he's an absolutely brilliant coach. So yeah, he would be my number one pick also. Oh man, I did tune in. Listen, Carlton Palmer, nah, he needs to chill. He needs to chill. I turned it off when he was talking, man. He even said about he just said, you know what? If you want to go listen to it, I'm sure Talksport will package it up and Carlton Palmer's thoughts. It's just a load of crap all the way through. It was brutal. It was brutal. Uh okay, Aiden. He's saying he wants a top class manager that has Prem experience. Aiden, if you're still here, please put in some of the names that you want that you consider. I'm very interested in that. Uh, yeah, man, just leave dinosaurs like that. It's not even dinosaurs. His tactics and his ideas are just outdated. They don't work anymore. They don't work anymore. So nah, just leave it off. And Jaguar, never listen to him. Never listen to him. He never has the best interests of Leeds at heart. And you've heard what he said previously about he could have folded the club. Yeah, you don't want to listen to anybody like that guy. Just ignore him. Um, Yeah, I don't. Again, I don't want to talk about every speculated name because there's obviously going to be a lot of names out there. Apparently, we spoke to Raul. I don't know how much I believe that, in all honesty. So, yeah, let's have a look. Justin Whittle is saying, "I'm more worried now than I am with Marsh. New manager has to hit the ground running in arguably 16 games. Marsh kept us up, and we'll never know if he was bottom three this year with him still in charge." Ooh, the problem is Justin, and it's all the games that we didn't win this season that were winnable. So okay, take these next two out of the way, Justin, against Manchester United. The next one's up at Everton, Southampton. I'm not sure with Jesse Marsch especially after the Forest game. and I can't tell you how much that result deflated me. Really can't tell you. I don't know if we would have got wins in those games with Jesse Marsch here, and obviously that's what the board decided to. I think it was going the way of no matter what he does, no matter what he says, it just wasn't working out for him. So listen, good luck to him at his next job, but I think we definitely made the right choice in trying to get a new manager now. We really have. Jimmy Goodman with the super chat, thank you, and also shout out to oh god, who was it yesterday? Close shave for the super thanks on the last video. So thank you for that. Jimmy is saying, you reckon the players have any confidence for tomorrow? Well, Skubala did say that the players are doing okay. Um, they're doing fine. So hopefully, managers come and go. You've got to pick it up because now the manager's gone. There's a few spotlights on a few of these players here that have been protected by Jesse Marsch and his apparent tactical limitations. So now it's on you to go out and show that it was that. Let's see what you're about. Uh, let's have a look. Karen here saying Tyler for captain for tomorrow's game. We need a strong leader on the pitch. I agree. Yeah, Tyler Adams for me is first choice. I understand other people like Verba too. That I don't think there's a real wrong answer there. But for me, in terms of going forward about the future, just what he does on and off the pitch with quality on the pitch as well, I would put Tyler Adams as captain. But we'll see. We'll see. That's what we need as well. Need the next coach to redo this whole leadership group because the leaders are here that they're not what we need going forward in the future. We need a new leadership group. You know what I mean? We need new captains to take us to the next stage of what Leeds United's about. That's my opinion, though, of course. Acton Dave here, just saying in regards to Jesse, I've been trying to give Jesse a chance, but as far as team sheet was it for me. Yeah, that was the beginning of the end, Acton Dave. It was the end. It was the beginning of the end. He didn't play all three midfielders. He was still relying on some of the old guard that now you've got the players in place. You're still putting them on the bench over these guys. Nah, you had to go. You had to go. Darren here saying, surely we go 4-3-3. I would hope so. I would hope so. Just give us more of a chance. Give us more of a chance to stay in the game and give us a bit more balance too. That's why I'm saying, although a lot of people are scratching their eyes out when I'm saying play Firpo, and I'm going to get it in the comments after, keep him away, he's not a footballer, he's defensively crap, all that stuff. Well, there's defensive deficiencies in a lot of our defenders, so at least he'll give us an outlook going forward. But that's why I'm saying I would go with Firpo and Christensen on the flanks and just give us a solid base in the three midfield. But hey, listen, we'll see tomorrow, won't we? We'll see tomorrow. And I won't be doing a watch along tomorrow. I will be here straight after the game. So please join me for that as well. Chris Harrison, how is Ayling still at Leeds and Jesse loaned out Cody? Well, the club loaned out Cody, didn't they? But yeah, I don't get it either. But Jesse didn't play him enough. And Cody's gone out on loan in a promotion charge. So good luck to him. But yeah. Jammy, are you positive the right appointment will be made? We'll see. We'll see what the names are. I mean, there's so many names out there we don't know. We just don't know. So when that manager's appointed, we'll of course we'll go into it and we'll talk about it then. Matt saying, agree with you, KG. Firpo and Rasmus, and I will put Verbal with Cock. Yeah, me too. Like I say, I wouldn't shudder too much if I see Cooper on the team sheet tomorrow, just purely for the Vegos factor. And it's purely for that, people. Don't think I'm starting to put Liam Cooper in my starting lineup, but going with what we've got, I wouldn't say no. But I do think Verba and Cock would be more than equipped to handle Vegos as well. So yeah, let's go with Verba and Cock and Rasmus and Firpo, but that's just me. Steve here saying, I like Darren Bent's comments yesterday on TalkSport that why wouldn't Leeds get Poch? Villa got Unai Emery and he's had more success than Poch. It's true. It is true. That's why I'm saying it's not out the realms of possibility because the Premier League is a huge pull. Lopetegui at Wolves tells you that. And like you say, Unai Emery at Villa. It's just, everything that you hear about Poch with certain clubs that he's rejected in recent times since he left PSG tells me he wants to be back in the Champions League. That's the only thing that's making me just rule it out kind of thing. But if we were to get him, then you're talking about another coach that loves to coach players and can get the most out of players with limited abilities. And that's probably what we need, especially with our defensive core. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Let's just see what happens. Darren here, though, not having it, saying Poch overrates himself. I don't want him at all. Fair. Fair. John H. Poch will be waiting for the Liverpool job. That seat's hot at Liverpool. He's got a bit of a point. You know, that Liverpool job could come available if they keep on getting, you know, panned by Wolves 3-0. I mean, that's unacceptable, isn't it? But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, listen, people, let's get into the score predictions for tomorrow's game. Let's get into it, man. Let's put a bow on this, because we got to do this all again later in the week when they come to Ellen Road. So yeah, let's go for score prediction. And man, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. SLH here saying 1-1. Robbie saying 5-0. Lord have mercy. Simon is saying a 3-2 Leeds win. Imagine that. Imagine the scenes on that one tomorrow night. Geronimo saying 2-0 Man U. Dave's going for a Desmond. Bob's is saying 4-1 to Man U. Obviously, if you put in the high number first, I'm assuming that you mean Man United are going to win the game, all right? So Jack is saying 3-0. Jaguar he's saying he would have loved a 0-0, but think we might get spanked 5-1. That's like complete opposite ends of the spectrum. Callum, what's going on in Australia, man? What's going on? 4-1 to us? Oh, man. Keep surfing, dude. Keep surfing. Paolo saying 4-1 Man United. Yeah. Listen, like I said to you, I just have real bad vibes about this one in terms of just how the shape that we're going into this game, the way that Man United are playing. Obviously, if we can get a positive result, I hope that in everything that we do. But I am thinking that we're going to lose the game. Score prediction, I can't shake 3-1 to Man United. Oh, Callum is saying it's a loss. Fair enough. Let me clear your name. Yeah, 3-1. I can't see anything differently. But yeah, that's the score I've got in my head, so I'm going to have to go with it. Darren saying, honestly, KG, I don't think we'll be defeated heavily. We're not a weak team. No, I don't think it's a case of that, Darren. I just feel like I don't think that we're going to have enough against Man United at Old Trafford tomorrow. I just don't see it. I don't see it right now. But listen, of course, with the weapons that we've got up front, there is a chance that we could catch them on the counter a couple times. That's what we've got to hope for. But we've got to be defensively resolute too. So there's a lot of things that we need to go our way tomorrow. So let's just see. Ian Takana saying Rashford hat-trick. I mean, I can see him scoring 2. I can see him scoring 2 goals. But hey, no, Jamie, no free hit. No. There's no free hits. The reason why I say there's no free hits, people, there's a couple reasons why I say there's no free hits, because every game in the Premier League you can get points from, and there's a lot of teams in the league proving that. And also, what happens when these 2 games go, and then let's just say we don't get anything against Everton and Southampton? Then what? When do the points have to start coming? Free hit is loser talk as well, by the way. And no offense to you if you believe in free hits, but it's loser talk. It's like, okay, well, you can smash us today, smash us in the next game, but we'll start again when come Everton, Southampton. I can't get with that mentality. I think we're going to lose, but the players can prove us wrong and get a result. Because there's no point. I say free hit again. We win. Let's just say we win the 2 games against Man United, 6 points, and then lose against Everton, Southampton. What's the point then? You know what I mean? But that's just me. That's just me. That's just my mentality in terms of football. But listen, people, I'm going to leave it there. Free hit FC. It sounds like Lee Gunner. That sounds like Lee Gunner. But yeah, listen, people, I'm going to leave it there. And I'll be back tomorrow after the game, and we'll talk about the game and everything that happens in between. But yeah, listen, people, like the video before you go, subscribe, and drop your comments in and your score predictions on the comment section below. Peace out, people. Enjoy the rest of your day.